those partners who are unable to join us today. And a follow-up email with all corresponding documents and links will be sent in a week. At this time, if you would take the time to introduce yourself in chat, that would be wonderful so that we know who is here, and I'll do that myself. All right, on today's agenda, we have the presentation from Rachel Ward with the Farmers Markets, and we have an update and information about the summer EBT program that Stephanie will be giving for us. And then we also have an update around the COFA legislation that Leora will be giving for us. We might actually get done with things a little bit early today, which is wonderful, but it also leaves some time for some discussion and questions at the end. So if there's anything you're hoping to chat with us about, there may be time for that at the end. So maybe take note of those items so that you're ready when we get there as well. And I think I saw Rachel here. Yes.
Yeah.
Rachel, you ready?
Yes. Let me see if I can share my screen. Oh, there we go. All right. Let me know when you all are seeing it. Are you able to see those slides?
You can see it. Right, I see it.
Yes. Great. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Ward. I'm the Executive Director of Farmers Market Fund, and I'm going to talk to you about Double Up Food Bucks, which is a great program that we administer here in Oregon. So Farmers Market Fund, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to make healthy, locally grown food accessible to underserved Oregonians. And our work is really grounded in this belief that no one should be denied access to the foods that they want and need to eat well. So we've been coordinating Double Up Food Bucks in Oregon since 2015. With really the strong sense of belief that farmers markets should be accessible and available to everyone. We're a really small organization. We just did some growing in the last year, so now we're up to 5.0 FTE with 6 staff members. So we're really excited to expand our capacity. We're funded primarily through an appropriation through the state of Oregon, as well as through a federal GUSNIP grant, which is the Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program. I just realized I should slow down for the interpreter. And a federal GUSNIP COVID Relief Fund grant as well. So these are federal grants. We're in the process of asking for an additional federal grant this year. So we started as a program of Portland Farmers Market, but we're now our own standalone 501c3 organization. So, in case you are not familiar with Double Up Food Bucks or have never heard of it before, I will go into all the nitty-gritty details of how it works. So, this is a nutrition incentive program. It's a matching program that allows folks who have SNAP on their EBT card or Oregon Trail card, as we call it here, to receive a matching amount of funds to spend on fresh fruits and veggies. So this is how it works at farmers markets. Someone with an EBT card comes up to the information booth at the market and says, I want to use my SNAP benefits. They will be asked how much they want to swipe off of their card. The person at the information booth will swipe their card and then give them tokens, wooden tokens like you see in the picture here for the SNAP benefits. And then these paper Double Up Food Buck vouchers that you see on the right for the matching amount. So if they can swipe for up to $20 per day. So if they take 20 off their EBT card, they can get a matching $20 to spend on fresh fruits and veggies. And they then take these tokens and script around to the vendors at the farmers market and redeem them just like they would other forms of currency. The only difference is that change can't be given, of course, because it's SNAP. But they can use their SNAP tokens on anything that's SNAP eligible in the market. So that's your produce, your meat, your eggs, your dairy, cold prepared foods, canned goods, that sort of thing. And then the double up food bucks can be spent on fruits and veggies, mushrooms, beans, fresh herbs, and food producing plants as well. So you can actually buy like a tomato plant to grow in their garden with double up food bucks or with SNAP. That's kind of an overview of how Double Up Food Bucks works. We like to say that this program is a triple win. So not only does it help families bring home more food, it also helps local farmers to make more money because they're able to charge the same price as they would to any other customer while increasing access to their food to a broader span of customers. And then it also keeps these federal dollars, these SNAP dollars in our local economy. So we know that the dollars that are spent at a farmer's market circulate more within the local economy than necessarily the dollars that are spent at like a big store, a big box grocery. So like I said, we've been doing this program since 2015, so we are well established. And in 2023, this is a map of all the farmers markets that we worked with across the state. We saw over 3.6 million combined in SNAP and Double Up Food Buck sales at markets. Over 700 farmers and producers worked with the program through the markets. We saw over 10,000 people shopping at the market with their SNAP benefits for the first time just last year. So we know there's a huge continuum of people that receive SNAP benefits and that the population is always changing. So we're always doing continual outreach to make sure that new folks are hearing about the program. And this was through 88 farmers markets in 26 of Oregon's counties. Last year was the first full year that we did a $20 match before it was $10. So we were able to stabilize that and continue that. We plan to continue a $20 match in the future. If we got future exponential funding, we would love to bump that up to a $30 or $40 match. It really just depends on our available funding. And then we do also match SNAP cash benefits. That's a special benefit that Oregon has, where folks have their SNAP benefits as a cash function on their EBT card instead of as SNAP. And we can match that through some separate state funding that we have. We call that the Produce Match Program. And last year, we saw a lot of changes. You all are familiar with the end of SNAP emergency allotments. We also saw some huge inflation and the price of food skyrocket. And so these are just some stats on kind of how much food tends to cost someone per month versus how much benefits are per month. This is national data, so it looks a little bit different in Oregon. So we know that there's a big gap between that inflation and the available SNAP benefits, and that just really made Double Up more important than ever. And we saw that, this is our change from 2022 to 2023. We were still increasing in terms of the amount of SNAP and the amount of Double Up that's being spent at markets. And so our big takeaway is that even when folks have less SNAP benefits to spend, they still want to match them with Double Up food bucks. They still want to visit the farmer's market. They still want to get their fresh produce. We don't do this work alone. So Farmers Market Fund runs the farmers market side of the program, but then we work really closely with the Oregon Food Bank and with Pacific Northwest CSA Coalition to run the grocery and the CSA portions of the program. And then Oregon Farmers Market Association, or OFMA, is also a great promoter and helper with the market. So this is what we're looking at for this year, 2024. All of the little blue tents that you see on this map are farmers markets that we're partnering with. So we have 95 farmers markets. For context, Oregon has about 120 markets, so we're in a huge majority of the markets in the state. We are expanding our farm stand program, which we piloted for the first time last year, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute, to up to 10 farm stands, but we're at 6 right now. And then these brown boxes that you see on the map are all the CSA pickup locations. I'll talk about CSAs in a bit as well. So 60 CSAs participating this year, and then around 38 grocery stores, mostly small and independently owned grocery stores. And we're in 34 of Oregon's 36 counties right now. So we're expanding. We're hoping in the next couple of years to be able to reach every single county. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about how Double Up Food Bucks works at grocery stores and CSAs and farm stands, just for context. So like I said, our partners at Oregon Food Bank administer the grocery program. At grocery, you can earn Double Up Food Bucks on fruit and veggie purchases with SNAP, up to $20 per day. So incentives do need to be spent at the store that they're redeemed or where they're earned. And like I said, that's about 30 plus locations across Oregon. So it looks a little bit differently depending on what store folks are shopping at. Sometimes there's like a printed coupon that comes at the end of their sale. Sometimes it's an automatic discount. Sometimes it's applied to a loyalty card. So it kind of depends on the grocer. But then folks can take that discount back to the grocery store and use it for a discount for fresh fruits and veggies. And like I said, these are a lot of small and independently owned grocery stores, a lot of groceries that sell culturally specific or culturally relevant foods as well. They're really helping us to reach some of the populations that are harder to reach with market. And then CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. This is like a farm share program. So usually for CSAs, you pay a farmer an amount up front, and then you are able to receive like a box of fresh fruits and veggies and food from the farm every week or every other week. So in order to make this program accessible to folks using SNAP, we offer half price CSA shares. So folks can, they don't have to pay the full amount up front either. They pay on a monthly basis. So they still are allowed to kind of spread their benefits out, but they pay half the cost. Um, and there's several farmers that participate in this all through the coalition of Pacific Northwest CSA coalition. And so you are able to find on Pacific Northwest CSA Coalition's website all of the farms that exist, and folks can just contact that farm and then they'll give them the paperwork, and they get charged once a month. And you pick up your share. It's a great way to budget and make sure that you have fresh fruit and veggies throughout the summer. If you love to cook and like the challenge of cooking with new things or with the same things over and over again, it's a really great model for that. And then farm stands, like I said, is a new program that we started last year with 3 farm stand locations, and we're hoping to get up to 10 this year. We see this as a great way to reach a lot of the smaller and rural areas in Oregon that may be a little bit more distanced or removed from markets or grocery stores. And at farm stands that we work at, the match is applied as just a flat 50% discount on fresh fruits and veggies. So folks that are Oregon grown. So folks can just select what they want at the farm stand and then get an automatic 50% discount. No need to worry about tokens or script or anything like that. So those are the 3 different models in addition to farmers markets. And you might be wondering, what can I do to help spread the word? We love having partners help spread the word about Double Up Food Bucks. We're still, even though we've been going since 2015, there are always folks out there who have never heard of the program. And so always looking for help with spreading the information. Word of mouth is like the #1 way that people hear about this program. So just telling your friends and your family and your neighbors and those in your community, or the people that you work with, that this program exists really does help a lot, because we all know that there may be times in our life when we are on SNAP benefits. And so it changes so frequently that it's really important to just spread the word generally. I was going to show you all this doubleuporegon.org website and just walk you through a little bit what it looks like so that you are familiar with it, and then clients or people that you're referring to Double Up can see what it looks like. You all should be seeing the Double Up website now. Is that what you're seeing? Yes. So doubleuporegon.org is the website. And there's a lot of information on this site. We have these great little explainer videos in English and Spanish, and then in a bunch of other languages as well, that are a great visual way to explain how the program works. And then even for each individual type of outlet, you can click on these buttons and get more instructions on how it works. One of the most useful parts of this website is this find a location up here at the top right corner. This takes you to a map of all of the locations of Double Up Food Bucks. And you can filter out if you, for example, only want to look at farmers markets. You can select this and it will just show you the farmers market. You can type in, you can select a certain city to see the market. And then when you click on this information, you see their location. Over here is their hours. It has links to their website and their Facebook. And then you can also click this arrow and you get Google Maps to pop up with directions to that market or to that site. So even if you just love visiting farmers markets or you want to go see a farm stand where this is operating, this is a great tool to use. And then the other thing, there's a lot of other information on here, lots of stories, some frequently asked questions, some more explanation of how the program works. But what also might be really useful for you all is to look under contact and get involved. And this is where you can download outreach materials about Double Up Food Bucks. So there's a lot of these social media graphics that you're welcome to download and share in your organizational social media or on websites. There's also these great printed materials. So we have statewide flyers, as well as regional flyers that you can download and distribute out to your communities. And then we also have these Double Up postcards that are just generally talking about how the program works and what it can be used on. And that is available to download in over 10 languages. So lots of great resources that you all are welcome to download and to look at as much as you would like and share with your communities. And we also love to give out posters and flyers. So if it would be really helpful to you to have a stack of Double Up Food Buck flyers, they're really easy. They're a little like tear off format. So we give them to the markets. They can often distribute them to their local agencies and local partners. But if you would like some specifically for your organization, you can email Ayana at farmersmarketfund.org and she can set you up with getting some shipped to you. We love if you can share about Double Up Food Bucks online, on social media. I put FMF social media on here. And then also, we're still trying to reach those additional 30 some farmers markets that we're not already working with. And so we would love your help if you visit a farmer's market or a farm stand to just say, hey, do you guys accept SNAP? Have you ever heard of Double Up Food Bucks? Would you be interested in participating and connect them to us? Because we need all the help with recruiting those markets and farms. And often the way that they get convinced to offer the program is because their customers are asking about it, right? And so you all can help to spread Double Up to more outlets across the state. And then the last part of my presentation, I just have a bunch of great quotes from participants. We do an annual survey every year with customers, with farmers market managers, with farmers. And I'll read you some of these quotes here. So with Double Up Food Bucks, I don't feel like I have to budget so tightly. I can try new things and get all the things I know my family will eat as well. I feel good that I can support local, love it. We find that a lot of folks will try out new foods that they aren't normally going to purchase at the grocery store or be willing to take a little bit more of a risk in getting more or a different quantity or different variety than they're used to. And then this quote over here on the right is also from a Double Up participant that says Double Up Food Bucks not only helps our family access fresh fruits and vegetables, it also helps our children connect to local farmers and artisan bakers. As parents, we believe it's important to model knowing where one's food comes from, but without SNAP and specifically Double Up Food Bucks, we wouldn't have sufficient funds to regularly patronize our local market. We're thankful not only for fresh food, but also for how Double Up helps us live out our values. We find that this is also true for a lot of participants of just like the social atmosphere of being able to come to a farmer's market, having activities for their kids, getting to talk to their neighbors, is also a big benefit of the program outside of just accessing fresh food. We also hear great things from our farmers and our vendors. So I have a couple quotes here. We absolutely love this program. It's wonderful for us to be able to charge what we feel like we need in order to run a second business, while now also being accessible to a much broader socioeconomic community. And then another farmer said, I'm honored to be one of the many links in the chain and grateful for people's willingness to go the extra steps to attend market and try new foods. It's a meaningful part of the job for me to serve the public each week and remember why I got into agriculture. Thank you. So we hear this a lot from farmers is that, farmers are in this work because they love to grow food and they want everyone to be able to eat their food. But they're also small business owners, right? And they often are struggling with really tight profit margins, and Double Up allows them to be able to charge the price that they need to charge in order to make a living while farming, but still be able to be affordable and accessible to their broader community. And then, of course, farmers market managers, they're the ones who are helping this whole wheel turn. They're communicating with their vendors, they're distributing the Double Up Food Bucks, they're going through all our reporting and submitting all our data. And it makes a big difference for the market overall. A lot of markets do this kind of out of the goodness of their heart. They don't make the money like the farmer does or get the food like the participant does, but they do see the difference that it brings to their market. So 88% of the vendors at Double Up markets agree that the markets that they sell at are stronger because they offer Double Up Food Bucks. So they're just more accessible to a wider group of people, which helps the market in general to thrive. And then there's also this quote from Hannah, who's one of our board members and also the market manager out at the Hood River Farmers Market. She said, with the help of Farmers Market Fund, Hood River is participating in Double Up for the first time this year. That was last year. As a result, this season, we've increased SNAP sales at our market by 90%, which has translated into thousands more dollars going into the pockets of small scale family farmers who sell at our market. So it makes a big difference for revenue of farmers and vitality of markets. And this is my contact information. I will leave this screen up. You're welcome to reach out to me anytime if you want to talk a little bit more about Double Up Food Bucks or Farmers Market Fund or how you can get materials. I'm always happy to chat with folks. And I think I might have some time for questions. I'm not sure how I'm looking.
Rachel, did you see the questions that were in chat?
I have not looked yet.
There's one from Farron about the summer season flyers. Do we have an ETA on that?
Yes, they are very close. And we just sent them to the printer last week, so they should be up on the website very soon.
All right, thank you. And then Jean has a question, and I don't know if this is more for you or Stephanie, if you can answer, but it's with regards to summer EBT and whether or not benefits can be matched to Double Up Food Bucks.
Yeah, so we're still waiting to hear from our federal partners if we can use federal funds to match summer EBT. I know from DHS's perspective at the state level, it's fine to match them, is what I've heard. So we're just trying to figure out if we can also use federal funding to support that. Any other questions? Great. Stop sharing my screen then.
All right, thank you so much. Wonderful presentation. I know I learned stuff.
Thank you.
And I think having a recording of that will be really helpful too. I could foresee that would be helpful for others to be able to walk through the process and such if they've not known. So feel free to share recordings so that folks have that information. Stephanie, tell us about what's going on with
Hi.
SSP.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Stephanie Cook, and I'm an analyst with the SNAP team. Today, I'll be sharing about summer EBT and giving a little preview of where we are in the process, a little bit of background about summer EBT for those of you who haven't heard of it, and answer any questions that you have so far. So first up on the screen, actually, Susie, will you go back just one more? So this is the logo that Oregon will be using for summer EBT. It has been revised just slightly to outline any parts that are in this kind of like orangish yellow color to be outlined in dark blue. So it's a little bit more ADA compliant, but the look of it, the colors will remain the same. And then we also have it translated into a Spanish version as well. So this is our logo for anyone who wanted to know. Okay, now you can go to the next slide, Susie. All right, so Summer EBT is a brand new summer food program that was kind of brought into existence through the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2023. So it's coming off the heels of pandemic EBT. It's similar, but not quite the same. So we are partnering with the Oregon Department of Education to roll out this program. And then we also have the help of the Oregon Health Authority. So Oregon did elect to begin participating in summer EBT starting this summer for 2024. So we are feverishly trying to get ready to roll this out and get benefits to eligible kids this summer. Next slide, Susie. So right now, we are preliminary numbers that we're anticipating about 294,000 children in Oregon will be eligible for summer EBT this summer. What it is a monthly food benefit. So for the months of the summer, so June, July, and August, for a total of $120 per eligible child. And that puts us at about $35 million per summer period that we'll be issuing. Next slide. All right, so just to do a really high level of who's eligible for the program. So there's a couple different kind of groups of who's eligible. So first, we're looking at school-aged children. The definition of school-aged is 6 to 18 years old because that is the compulsory education age here in Oregon. And that is the kind of consistent age that our federal partners have asked all the states to use, is that compulsory age. And that applies to those who are automatically eligible for benefits by receiving SNAP, TANF, or Oregon Health Plan Medicaid. For the Oregon Health Plan section of this, it will only be for our households that are eligible for a medical program under 185% of the federal poverty level. So there are a few medical programs that receive medical at that like higher level. They unfortunately won't be eligible, but the majority of our medical programs will. The second group is for kids who attend a school that offers the National School Lunch Program or the School Breakfast Program, and their household income meets the requirements for free or reduced price meals. That requirement is 185% of the federal poverty level. So it's the same eligibility requirements that are used if someone were to go into a school and apply for free meals at school. So the way we'll get this information is we will have an application for households to apply, and they'll just give us their children's name, their contact information, and income information. And then we'll have a team at ODHS processing those applications. And then the last group of eligible kids are those who also attend that National School Lunch Program or School Breakfast Program school. And the school has determined that they're eligible because they participate in migrant programs, are experiencing houselessness, attend a Head Start, or are eligible for free meals at school because their family receives the food distribution program on Indian reservations. So that is all of these different kind of eligibility factors, the migrant houselessness, FDPIR, and Head Start. Those are all determined on the school level, and then the schools share that information with us. So those kids are also automatically eligible, but that information is coming right from the schools. Okay, next slide, please. So based on the analysis we've done, about 70% of our estimated about 294,000 kids will automatically be eligible for summer EBT, and that's because they're already receiving SNAP, TANF, or Medicaid, or because they're those either houseless, migrant, FDPIR, or Head Start kids that will be shared by the schools. So for those ones, nothing else is needed from the parents. They don't need to apply for benefits. They don't need to let us know. The benefits will automatically be issued onto their EBT card that they have associated to their SNAP or TANF case. If they happen to not have an EBT card, so for instance, if the household only has medical benefits and they aren't receiving SNAP or TANF, we'll send them a brand new card in the mail. But they don't need to let us know. We'll just automatically send it to them. The other 30% will need to apply through application, and that application will be available starting in June. And those benefits will be issued onto a new EBT card, and we will try our very best to put all eligible children in the same household that's applying on the same application onto one EBT card. Next slide. Okay, so this is kind of a high level of where we are in the timeline. The red is representing where we are now. So we've already moved through letting our federal partners know we intend to run a program this year. We've already submitted our plan of maintenance, which is kind of like our state plan to the federal government. We've gone through legislative session. So right now we're in the design phase. We are creating the application, we're creating notices, we're creating an eligibility system for our ODHS staff to use, as well as our school partners and families, and we're creating an online application. So that's where we are in the process. Right now, we are looking to issue benefits in the summer. It really is kind of dependent on contracts that we have to sign, as well as approval of our maintenance plan or our state plan with our federal partners. So this does kind of land us right in June. That's our estimated date, but we'll be sure to let everyone know if this kind of pivots at all based on approvals that we receive. Next slide. So communications are super important for this program, especially because it's coming so quickly. And it's just, we need to know, or we need to let know who's automatically eligible for the program, who will need to apply, especially for those families who may be familiar with other programs that we have like SNAP or Pandemic EBT, just kind of the key differences. So we will have a full social media kit that we run. We'll be doing school newsletters and fact sheets. We're presenting in partner meetings. We're sending information to schools and other places that families tend to like get their information, like libraries and stores. We'll be offering, physical applications as well as online applications. The online application will be mobile optimized, so it will be able to be filled out and read really easily on a phone. We'll be doing text notifications for households, and then we'll be providing talking points to our staff in case they happen to come into an ODHS office. Next slide. So here's a little sneak peek of kind of some like the application and the notices that we're developing. Some of these have already changed since the slide deck has been created, so I'll point these out. And again, these are just kind of, they're drafts, but it's just kind of giving an idea of what we're working on so far. So next slide. So this first one is our eligibility notice. So this is if someone is eligible to receive summer EBT, they'll receive a notice in the mail for each of their children, letting them know what the program is, when they'll get their benefits, how to use their benefits, and also offer them the option to opt out if they wish to not receive benefits. Next slide. This is the online application, and it's in this kind of interesting, like tall rectangle, because this is just how we were reviewing it for the mobile optimized use. We have changed the colors. We're not calling it Seaport, and we're not using the whale logo. So those have all changed for sure since we grabbed these screenshots. But this is just kind of an idea of just like when you log on to the application website, there will be a big button to like apply now. They'll also be able to manage their benefits through this online portal, meaning that they'll be able to see where their application is in the process, if they've been approved, how, if they need to provide anything, if they have questions, anything like that. Next slide, please. This is a preview of the application. This one has gone through quite a bit of changes. So this is probably not the best indicator of what it's going to look like, but you kind of get the idea. We're going to be asking for, contact information, let the family know how they can apply, and we'll ask for, child's information, income, household information. Next slide. And then this is a preview of some social media we're working on. We'll have these available. We would love if partners want to share these on their partner socials. We'll be sharing a whole deck of social media that will be translated into the top 10 languages that we have that ODHS uses. So we would love if you all would like to share these. And this is the Summer EBT website that just posted here about a day ago. It is available in Spanish right now, and it's still pretty bare bones. So it's really just giving information about the program, who's eligible, when they can apply, and how they can get more information. But this is live. I think I saw Misha put it in the chat, but I'll double check. And if not, I'll place it in there. So it's just going to be sebt.oregon.gov is going to be the website. And then we're creating what they call like a vanity URL or a shortened website address for Spanish as well. Next slide. And I think that's it. So I'll pause here for questions. Again, this is just like a high overview of kind of what we're working on for summer EBT. This email address listed here will come directly to me. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to answer them. Hi, David. Yeah, that's a great question. So we do have connections already with the school districts that serve those specific populations. So like the McKinney-Vento liaisons. And we have some community partners that already, are working with those groups that can provide additional information. But if you happen to have any other suggestions besides like schools, community partners, please connect with me. I would love to know if you have any ideas. All righty. Well, I'll be here for a few more minutes till the meeting ends, and I'll watch the chat. Otherwise, I'll pass it back to you, Misha.
All right, thank you. I love all the updates. They've been very, very, very busy. I've been just sitting back and watching in awe as they're working on all of these things. And special thanks to our partners who are participating in this too and helping us stand this up in the best way possible. So, all right. Mayora, do you have an update for us around the COFA legislation?
Hello. Alas, I do not. So what I do want to share is that COPA, Compact by Free Association Citizens, as many of you know, there was an act that was recently signed that restored the SNAP eligibility that those citizens used to have. However, as is the case of any kind of federal change, we, in addition to our TANF partners, have to wait until we are given guidance by the federal government. I do want to share with you all, I think context can help, that this is a normal process of business. This happened when the omnibus was signed in December of 2022. The federal government then sent out, after December of 2022, I think at the very end of January 2023, they sent guidance to each of the states to ask us to write our SNAP replacement plan and submit to them. And then ours was approved and we were able to implement it beginning in, I believe, May of 2023. When we did implement SNAP replacements, as many of you probably remember, we were able to do it for SNAP fraud that happened, I believe, beginning in October of 2022 and ongoing. So I just want to share that we do understand that we've got a population of people not only who are really eager to receive food and grocery assistance, but who used to receive that until I believe around 1996 when so-called welfare reform was put into place. So we are very aware. We want to make sure and have communicated to our staff that staff are not to discourage anyone from applying. We don't know how guidance will be shared out. We don't know what the effective date of eligibility will be. As I stated with SNAP fraud replacements, there is a retroactive eligibility date. And because we do not know what to expect from Food and Nutrition Service, we want to make sure that anyone who is a COFA citizen who would like to put in a SNAP request or put in a SNAP application does so at their own choosing. So we want that messaging to for sure go out into the community. We have sent a request to Food and Nutrition Service in quite a few different ways to let them know we are deeply eager to receive COFA citizen SNAP eligibility guidance. We are not alone. Any other state that we've connected with have also done this. So the feds know there's a lot of pressure. I mean, not only from SNAP state programs, but also from the kind of programs for guidance. When we do receive that guidance, we will make sure to communicate to our community partners so that you can help us get the word out to individuals as well as any kind of specifics that will go along with, again, possible imagination. If there's any kind of retroactive eligibility or anything that goes along, we'll make sure to include that information so you can be as informed as possible when engaging with the community. Are there any follow-up questions? I will tell you that this is extremely frustrating for us as well. Like I said, we're trying to really put a lot of respectful pressure on the feds because we have communities that really need.
I don't see any questions in chat so far.
All right, well, I hope that next month when we give a COFA update that I actually have an update to give. But for now, we just know that we know, and we're trying to think of different groups and areas that we can ensure will really need that information. For example, we make more Pacific Islander student unions and whatnot. So if there are agencies that you can think of that specifically and particularly would be interested in this information because this legislation impacts that community in specific, please pass that along. Please never estimate that we know all of the current community support groups that are out there. And we really appreciate being informed of any direct communication that we can do that will help impacted individuals learn about these changes as fast as possible.
All right, thank you, Mayora. Does anybody have any questions for Mayora or for any of our presenters today that you might have thought of after their presentation? All right, I'm not seeing anything. We have 4 whole minutes, which isn't really enough for a discussion at this point. But if anybody does have any questions that they'd like to ask that may be unrelated to the presentation, but that you're just curious about, you're welcome to ask those now. All right, I don't see anything, so I think I can give you a couple minutes back. Just as a reminder, we'll be sending the presentations from today and the minutes, and I'll follow up in about a week. So I'll be looking for that in your email. Otherwise, we'll see you again next month. Thanks so much for being here.